Hello and welcome to the Strategic Hangar. Today we are going to discuss about a recent accident that happened in the Arabian Sea. One of the most chilling articles that a pilot can hear is not just Mayday, it's also radar contact loss. Because from that moment, the mission changes completely. From air traffic control managing the aircraft, it changes to the search and rescue, now looking for one. So recently, I read a news about a Pakistan Boeing 737, a cargo plane flying from Sharjah to Karachi, which crashed over the Arabian Sea, killing all the 5 crew members on board. This aircraft got lost contact with the ATC, reporting a navigation problem, and within hours, Pakistan launched a massive search and rescue operation with the maritime reconnaissance aircraft and naval ships. The wreckage was finally found, and all the crew members were dead. But an important question comes to our mind that why in 2026, with so much of technological advancement, with so many radars and everything, still it is so difficult to track an aircraft over an ocean. Now, moment the aircraft impacts on the ocean surface, the investigators stop thinking like a pilot and they start thinking like an oceanographer. They start thinking about the wave action, the winds, the sea state, and the surface current, because all of this will start moving the debris immediately. Now, once the last known location is there, the investigators start calculating something known as a search datum, in which the last known position, the weather, the winds, these wave currents, and everything is taken into account. And from there on, the aircrafts and the ships start carrying out their search patterns. It can be a parallel track, an expanding square, or a creeping line ahead method, depending upon the uncertainty of the situation. It's always a constantly evolving operation rather than a fixed location search. Now, finding the floating debris is only the first step, because in most of the cases, the aircraft usually sinks within minutes. Now, in Arabian Sea, the depth of the sea can go as low as 3 kilometers, and at that depth, no diver can reach the wreckage. So you have to use multiple things like the side scan sonar, the multi-beam sonar, underwater vehicles, or autonomously piloted underwater vehicles to reach the wreckage. Now, sometimes finding wreckage can take weeks or months. Recovering can take even longer. Now, most of the aircraft are fitted with black boxes, which are usually painted orange in color. The flight data recorder and the cockpit voice recorder have got underwater locator beacons attached to them, which start transmitting moment the acoustic pings are submerged. Now, most of them operate on a frequency of 37.5 kilohertz and can start pinging and last up till 30 days. Also, some of the newer systems can last even longer. But one of the important limitations which happens when these things get submerged under the water is that they have a limitation in terms of the distance to which they can transmit those pings. So if you don't know as an investigator where exactly to look at, even these pings might not reach you. Now, every time we hear about an aircraft going down in the sea, one of the most important accident and the most famous accident in our recent history is the MH370, which comes to our mind. But there is a difference between the MH370 accident and this one. First and foremost, the radar location of the aircraft last known in terms of MH370 and the time it flew thereafter was quite considerably long. In this case, the time after the radar communication was lost and the impact of the aircraft was pretty small. Also, the area in which the aircraft impacted, in the case of MH370, it was a very wide area. It was one of the largest search ever carried out by human for a sunk aircraft. In this particular case, the Boeing 737, the search area was pretty small, and the floating debris was one of the important clue because of which the wreckage was discovered much earlier as compared to the MH370. Now, there are certain new technologies which are available which can keep tracking the aircraft even after the radar contact is lost. But despite the fact, these are effective only till the time the aircraft is flying. Once the aircraft impacts, thereafter the investigation takes a whole different new meaning. Then begins the most important part of the investigation. The investigators will try to recover the wreckage, they will try to recover the flight data recorder, they will try to recover the cockpit voice recorder, and thereafter they will try to analyze what happened in those final few moments before the aircraft actually impacted. The investigations goes too much into the depth. It is not just these things that are recovered. They also go over the maintenance history, they go over the past record of the aircraft, they go over the past record of the pilot, before finally piecing all the things together and coming to a conclusion. Until all these pieces come together, the explanation remains an hypothesis. Because in aviation, we don't just confirm what we think happened, but we try to discover what happened. I hope you liked the first episode of Strategic Hangar. Please keep liking, please keep sharing, and please keep subscribing to this channel. Also, I would love to hear your comments on this particular accident. Thank you.